Hi guys. Today we're going to be talking about Buff Eats, which consists of me and my team members and my best friends, Shivam, Danny, and Steven, including myself, Nathan. And we are going to be talking about a food delivery application database and analysis system. Next slide. Today we're going to be addressing an agenda that consists of the overview of the project and value, our ERD, the relationship schema of the ERD, data sources used, queries and reports that are consist of maybe 4 to 5 queries and visualizations that also reflect the actual financial beneficial aspect of it all. Next slide. Within the project overview and opportunity, we want to talk about how Buff Eats faced challenges within limited insights, and we have persevered through the trends and opportunities within the business as we have scaled through the company. Our tasks have organized us as a robust database that is structured and has allowed us to focus on reporting and robust insights for organizations. And when it comes down to opportunities for the project included, when it comes down to understanding top performing merchants who should be elevated, and identifying churn, identifying top consumers to focus on, and understanding operational efficiency of deliveries, that is what we prioritize ourselves on. Next slide.
So, talking about the different entities that we have in this database, in this environment, this ER diagram shows how those entities interact with each other and how the data flows between each of those interaction. So, starting with our customer entity, we are storing different demographic data about customers. We also have a separate entity address, which we are ensuring that the database is as normal form as possible, and that's connected to customer. We are storing customers' payment information in a hashed form to ensure the security. And we have courier, who's the person gonna be delivering the order, and a vehicle entity, which have the vehicle details for the courier. Now, coming towards the merchant side, we have merchant entity, which have all the data about the merchant address, what kind of menu they have, and that is stored in a separate entity called menu. Now we have two different tertiary relationship which connects multiple entities and form one big relation. Starting with order. Order connects customer who places an order, merchant who fulfills that, and courier who delivers that order. And we have application activity in which we are keeping track of application activity performed by a user, such as impression event, tap event, what kind of store the user is viewing on the app. And this tertiary relationship connects customer, merchant, and the event table. Now, moving towards the next slide.
Thank you, Shivam. For this particular study, we got these data ourselves, and they're randomly generated. So here is a overview of the schema, mapping schema. It starts with the address table, storing location details, and the customer table links user to their address and payment info, while the payment table manages secure payment details. Merchants and their menus are handled in the merchant and menu tables, while carriers and their vehicles are tracked in carrier and vehicle. We also have the application event for event tracking, application activity for user sessions, and orders to tie everything together, linking customers, merchants, carriers, and menus. Um, this schema keeps our data organized and efficient. Now I'll pass it down to Shivam again to talk about our first query.
Talking about the first query, which is the success rate, which is defined as the number of orders which were successfully delivered divided by the total number of orders. This query helps us to keep track of the health metric of our business. It identifies key areas where our business is lacking. We can identify key months. So example, we have ninth month in which we see there's a significant drop in this metric, which means that there would be something wrong with the business or there would be something wrong with the app, and we need to figure out so that it has less impact on the dollar or the bottom line of the business. Now, coming towards the next query.
Thank you, Shivam, again. So here we are actually looking at the most popular products based on the quantity ordered. As you can see from the bar chart and the table, fries lead the list with 97 orders, followed by soup and steak. Items like sushis, wraps, and salad also show a strong demand, while dessert runs out the list. This data actually will give us really valuable insights into the customers' preferences and help us focus on the top performing items for inventory and our potential marketing strategies. And now I'll pass it on to Nathan to talk about our third query.
Thank you, Stephen. So just to dive into the churn rate, we're going to specifically talk about the customer churn rate, and that inches at 35%. And specifically, when we tried to list that out within our list in our customer base, we found two individuals, and we settled on the fact that it was easier for us to go into um, a marketing factor that factored in our active customers rather than neglecting our customer base that happens to be necessarily older or just not reflecting within our marketing base. And we're gonna inch off to query 4.
Thanks, Nathan. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and talk through our last query here, which is total account value. And so what total account value is that it looks at the entire customer base, every order that they have made throughout their account history with us. It sums it all up and then basically tells us what has this person been worth to us, from a dollars and cents standpoint, after, since signing up with us. And the reason that total account value is so important is because it really helps you to identify your top customers. So if you ever took a marketing class and you remember the 80/20 rule where 80% of your business comes from, 20% of your customers, well, you have to find out who those 20% are. And so that's where, leveraging SQL and running a query like this can really help, is because we're able to actually visualize that, and then you can work this into the dashboards of perhaps the marketing team so that they can allocate resources towards those top customers, to try to retain them, because this does tie into the last slide where we just had the churn rate there. The customers that we really don't want to churn are the ones at the top of those lists: Matthew Thompson, folks like him with the 9.4. So that's what the total account value is. And if you want to go to the next slide, Shivam, just to kind of recap everything and sort of tie everything together. So, we built out our own database, Buff Eats, to reflect this, food delivery app, right here in Boulder. Built out the database, mapped everything together, and ran queries on it to deliver some powerful insights, and mainly focused on, our operational efficiency with the success rate, our most popular products that we should, feature more heavily on the platform, the churn rate to understand how well we are retaining our customers, and then the total account value, so that we were able to sum all that up and see who those, top customers were. And for us, just as a team, it was a really great learning experience just to get to really start from scratch with everything as opposed to isolated queries, and get to really use some creative problem solving for how we can utilize, querying databases, Tableau to build dashboards and visualize everything to deliver really powerful insights for a business that might be like Buff Eats, where it's a small company that's scaling up and they need to get a lot smarter and have a better understanding of some of those things in order to be successful. So that's it in terms of our presentation, and we really enjoyed the project. Thank you.